In this video I'm going to show you how to use website background images and how to optimize them using Tribe Architect. Hi, I'm Peter and welcome to the Hidden Online Living YouTube channel. And in this short video I just want to show you the steps of how simple it is to add a background image to your landing page and how to set it up correctly so that it can be viewed on desktop and mobile devices. So if you watch till the end of the video, I will walk you through each process that you can follow along with to show you how simple it is to set all this up. Okay, so the first thing we actually need to do is when we're wanting to set up our images is we first need to actually download an image that we actually want to use, and for this case we will be using a free image. So we can come over to websites the likes of Pixabay, or we can use Pexels or even Unsplash. I've actually done separate videos on these explaining how to use these platforms, so I'll leave a link in the card and in the description to a playlist that I've created that shows you how to use these platforms, so be sure to check those videos out. So essentially when we're looking for an image, depending on what type of content you're looking to create for your website, so in this case I'm just doing like a fitness and a health and wellness kind of page. So essentially I'm just going to type in something here, just type in food, and just going to try and source an image that I think would be suitable. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of what you can expect when you're trying to edit it, etc. So make sure to check and have a look and see what images would be suited to you. And even though there is a lot of really good images, ideally what you want to do is you want to pick an image that has neutral enough colours, that it doesn't have too much going on in the background. The likes of something like this here may not be suitable because there's too much like a dark black colour in the background, so the likes of your text may not show up correctly. Again, the same can be said even for images that have really bright and vibrant colours. The same issue can also apply. So again, you just want to just have a look through and just pick something that actually will stand out, that you can actually use. So this one here actually looks like a good one, so I'll try this one here. So you want to click on it, and again what you want to do is when you actually have the image that you want selected, you want to download it, and ideally you want to make sure that the correct resolution is selected. So in this case 1920 by say 1280 pixels, and the reason behind this is you don't want to pick any smaller images because your image is going to be viewed on various devices. If you pick a smaller image, what will happen is it will actually show up and it'll become all pixelated and distorted, and it won't look very nice. At least when you pick a standard size here, it will look good. Regardless of how big or small it will look on a different device, you'll be able to scale it up and scale it down and it'll still look very, very good. It won't really affect the quality of the image at all. So once we've done that, you just click on download, and that image will now be downloaded to our downloads folder, so we can just find out where that is. So again, here we are. So the next thing what we want to do is, before we actually add any sort of image to our site, to ensure that our images are actually optimized, because as we want our images to load correctly and fast, so we need to optimize the images. And in order to do that is we have to use a tool to resize the images that won't really affect the quality, but it'll reduce the size of the image slightly, so that way then you can load a lot faster on your web page. So there's a free tool here called kraken.io. So again, you can come over here to this website and you want to click on the try free web interface, and it will open up this page here. So you can click and you can select the image, or what you can do is just go to your folder where you have the image in and click and drag the file to it. So as you can see now, it actually shows how it optimized the image and reduced in the file size, so this will actually help it to actually load it a little bit faster. So when you're happy enough with those settings, you can just download the file again. It will open it up in another window, and what you do is once the file is opened up, you just want to right click on the image and just go to save image as, and then again you're just going to save it into a folder, and that'll be it now downloaded. So this will be the image that we will use for our website. So now with the image now downloaded, the next thing we want to do is we want to come over to our WordPress dashboard and we want to actually create a new page. So once you come up to pages tab, you want to click on add new, and all we're literally going to do is just create a sample page here, and for this here we're just going to save it as a draft for now. So with that done, we just want to move on to the next step. So we're going to launch Tribe Architect. We just click on this button, it shows up. Right, so once the editor is opened up, what we're going to do is we're just going to set up a new canvas or use a new template. So what we want to do is come up for here onto the right hand side and this wee cloud icon where it says change template. We just click on that and this window will pop up, and essentially all we're going to do is for now we're just going to click and use a blank template. So you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom and where it shows blank here, just click on it to expand the set, and we're going to choose one of these 3 templates. So for this example we're just going to click on this one here. So once that's highlighted we just click on choose template. Right, so now once this template has actually loaded up, as you can see here it automatically has certain elements already added into it. So the one that we want to focus on is the background section that shows up here. But even if you can't get that, if you've been using another template, you can come up here onto the right hand side again where it says add element, this wee plus icon, and you click on it and then you can add in a background section. You just click and drag it over if you want to. So I'll just delete that there for now. So that's just a simple way just to find out or find exactly what you're looking for. So again, so as we are focusing on this section here, what we're going to do is we're just going to click and we're just going to drag it to the top, because this is essentially going to be the first part of the web page that you actually are going to see regardless of the device that you're actually viewing it from. So with that selected, you're just going to click on it, and again you'll get these the options bar on the left that will show up. But for this moment we don't actually have to worry about the minimum height and width, etc. The width we can leave alone, but the height we can leave that just for now, for the time being, until we've added in all the features that we want to add. So what you want to do is you want to come down where it says background style on this tab here, click it to open it up, and essentially first off what we're going to do is we're going to add in a color layer, just a solid color. So at least what it will do is once the image is loading up on your website, because sometimes if the website does take a little bit longer to load, at least if you have text on your background and you need to be able to see it, at least the solid color will load up first, so at least people can actually see the text and what it's actually trying to say first off before the image loads up. So this is a good way around this. So again, you just want to click on solid color, and in this case you kind of just want to pick a color that's kind of suited to what it is that you're trying to achieve with the overall color theme of your website. So again, you can just any color really kind of that you can think of will do. And again, just going to change the opacity, just leave it at 100%, and once you're happy enough with that, you just click apply. So that's the whole box now, the background section box, all filled with a solid colour. So the next thing we actually want to do now is we want to add in our image, but we first actually have to upload it onto our WordPress dashboard. So we can come on to the second button here on this background style tab where it says image, and we click on it and we're going to choose an image. So you'll get this window that opens up from your WordPress dashboard, and what you want to do is, if you haven't uploaded the file already, so you want to click on upload files, and you can select the file or you can just find the folder that you have the image on and then just click and drag it onto it and it will begin uploading the file. So now that's the file uploaded. So what you want to do is you want to click on it to highlight it, and then it will open up this section on the right and it'll give you a load of different information. You can add in alternate text, etc. What you want to do is on the attachment display settings, you want to leave this section alone, and on the size, what you want to do is leave the size as it is, full size. You don't want to change the size of it like for a medium or even a thumbnail, because what it'll do is reduce the overall image quality, so then when it shows up on the screen it'll become all distorted and pixelated. So essentially you don't want that at all. So because when you're viewing it on different devices, the image is going to scale up and down depending on the device that you're viewing it on, so at least it will still have full clarity and it'll still look really, really good, so it won't affect the resolution. So once you keep it on that there, you should be good to go. So we're just going to insert it into the post, just click on this button. Now as you can see, it's actually brought the image in and the box, even though it is very small, but we're going to change that in a second. But quickly, I'm just going to quickly show you, once you have this background style already open and you can see that the image is already selected, you will see this box here that has different points. What this actually means is whatever point you actually choose, if I click on the top left, you can see it changes the position. Essentially what it will do is, once the image is being viewed on a specific device, what it's going to do is it's going to come up, say, to the top left here, and it's going to scale from that dimension up and down depending on the device that you're actually showing. So it's actually going to scale from that actual position that you've actually shown here. So if I change to this here, it will scale from the center rather than another position. It's just something to be aware of when you're looking on different devices. But essentially, usually the default, it's usually on the top left. in most cases, or say if in the center, but in this case the top left. So just going to select that for now, and then you're just going to click apply. So there's that now ready to go. So essentially what we need to do is we need to actually resize this. So we can just close out that tab there. We want to come back up to the main options tab, and we're going to go back here to what we mentioned earlier about resizing the image. So we don't need to touch the width at all. We're going to leave that exactly as it is, but we do need to change the height. So you can either type the dimensions in that you want, or if you want you could just use the slider bar and we can just change the actual size of the image here, the height. As you can see there, we can change it to how we think it will look or how we want it to look. So once you're happy enough with your selection and your size, we can just leave that as it is. The next thing what we want to do is, because this is going to be the main background image that's going to be first to be seen, we're going to have to put a heading text segment into it as well. So again, we're just going to come over to the right hand side onto the add element tab, and where it says text, we're just going to click and we're just going to drag it right inside this box here that shows up. So again, all we're literally going to do is we're just going to add in our new text. So again, we can highlight it, and anything that's in the box here we can change the orientation and the position of it. So I want to center align it, and there it's center aligned. So we can even come back over here onto the tab on the left and we can change the size of the actual font. So once that there is actually done, because ideally what we want to do is we want to have it around the center of the image. So how you do that is you want to click on the background image itself again, and once the main options tab shows up, you want to come down here to where it says vertical position, because anything within this box here, once any of these here are selected, this is exactly where all the elements within this area will actually be placed. So we want it to be in the center. So all we want to do is just click the center one here, and you can see now the text is now being put into the center. So the next thing now to note, as you can see, the text, because it is a dark color, it's very hard to read it on this dark color of the background of the image. So what we can do is we can highlight the text and we can just change the color of it. So on the main options up here, we just select color and we're just going to change it to white. You can just change it to pretty much any color you want, but for this instance we're just going to change it to white just so we can see it. And again, we're just going to click apply. So as you can see here, the text does look easier to read, but yet at the same time there's still segments, because there's bright areas of the image, it still is somewhat unreadable to a certain degree. So the next thing to really do with this here so that the text is fully legible is to come back to the background style again, and what we're going to do is we're going to add in another layer. So we're going to add in another solid color, and this time we're just going to leave it at black. So you're just going to select the black color, and essentially what we're going to do is we're just going to change the opacity for it. So as you can see, as I'm changing the opacity, it does darken the image somewhat, but the text is much easier to read. So I can leave it there at about 55%, that's all good. So once you're happy enough with your choices, you just click apply, and there you have it. So now you can actually see that when the page actually does load up, you can see how easy it is to read that text. So you can see the heading very clearly. And that's how simple it is actually to put this process together. But the last thing you want to do is as well, because as we're looking at this here, we're looking on the desktop portion, you want to check the other device views and preferences to see how it will look on mobile devices like tablets and mobile phones. So you want to just highlight these sections here, just click on this one here, this will be for the tablet, and again you can see it does come up, but the image is still very big. So again, we're just going to alter that. So again, you're just going to change the orientation of the pixels, the minimum height. So at least there now, it actually looks really good there when it actually comes up. So at least with people seeing on a tablet, they'll be able to change it, or have at least view it a lot better. So again, we just want to check mobile device. As we can see here, the text is actually very big. So what we want to do is we want to reduce that text and make it all that at least it fits in one small area so that we can see it. But again, the image as well is very big on the mobile device. So again, we want to change that as well for this device. So there you go. So essentially that there is how you actually change out or resize the images on different devices. Ideally what you can do is as well, especially if most of your viewers on your web pages are going to be from mobile devices, essentially what you can do is you can remove this background image altogether and just have a solid color. That will allow for the website to actually load up a lot faster on mobile devices. So it's just something to think of when you're actually putting all these items together. So now I've shown you the whole process of how to add in and optimize an image that you can use on your landing page using Thrive Architect, and I hope that you've actually found it helpful and that you can use it moving forward to build your own websites and projects, etc. And again, be sure to check out the playlists that I mentioned, showing you how to use the free resource websites to download images. I'll also leave a link in the playlist as well for other videos that I have created with the Thrive Architect and even the new Thrive theme builder that will show you similar processes or show you other areas that you can actually use when you're building out your landing pages and so forth. So if you found this video to be helpful, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be updated of future content, and feel free to share the video. Also, if you're looking to get started with your own online business, make sure to check out the link below this video for a simple formula that I use to help grow my business that will also teach you the steps to take action. And again, be sure to check out some of these videos on screen that will show you some other features that you can use to help get you up and running using Thrive Architect or the Thrive Theme Builder. And I'll see you all in the next one.